Python functions, any and all, are actually very useful functions. The all function returns true only if all the items in an iterable evaluates to true. Okay, and similarly, any function returns true only if at least one item in the iterable evaluates to true. That means, let's say I have a list here called what to say list. And I have four elements. First one is true, second one is false, third is also false, and fourth is true. So all these four elements are part of the list that I have created. Okay. Now, if I simply print any of list, so this is so any and all both the functions are going to return either true or false. Okay. So any function will return true if at least one of the items in the list is true. Okay, if I run this program, you see it is returning true because there are two items which are true in this list, so that satisfies the condition any, and that's why it is printing true. Okay, now similarly, if I give the other function called all, the all function means excuse me, all function is going to return true if all the items are true or all the elements are true. Okay, because all the elements are not true, it is going to return false. All right, so that is the functionality of any and all function. Well, let's see a practical use of it. So if I have a list, let's say score of a student, I have 60, 80, 30, and let's 60, 90, 30, and let's say 80. So one more is there, 10. There are five elements, and here I mean that it is a score of a student. That means a score of all the subjects. Okay. Now I want to apply a condition uh, if I have to create another list called, let's say, result, and then if I want to store equivalent of these elements, that means if the score is greater than 40, then make it true. Okay, else it is false. So technically, the 60 is going to be true, 90 is going to be true, 30 is going to be false, and so on, right? And once you get that, then you can achieve by applying any and all function. Although I'm not going to hard code this, so we have just learned list comprehension, right? So we'll apply that logic and populate a result list. So what we'll do is, let's say n, for n in score, I'll say n greater than 40. Okay, 40 for n in score. So this is as per the list comprehension. It is going to loop through all the items of the score list, and each and every item will be in the variable n. And every item it is going to check. This is an expression. If you remember in list comprehension, we had three sections. First was expression, second was for loop, and third was if condition. So in this example, I am not using if condition. I am just using for loop and then the expression. So each and every item, this is going to store the result of this expression. So n is greater than 40. So in the first case, it is 60. 60 is greater than 40. It is going to record true. Okay. And next, it is going to check 90. 90 is greater than 40. It is also going to record true. And then 30 is going to be false. 80 is going to be true. And 10 is going to be false. So After line number two, we should get simply if I print result, let's say, I should get respective Boolean values. See, there are five elements. I have got true, true, false, true, false. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to promote this student if all the marks are getting greater than 40. Then only I want to promote this student to the next class. Okay, or the next academic year. So, what I do is I just give a function. Let's say I give here promoted another variable, and then I give all function all of result. So if all of result means in the result list, if all the elements are true, then it is going to store true in the promoted variable. Okay. So if I simply print promoted, it should print it's printing false. Okay. The reason it is printing false is because all the elements, that means all the scores of the student is not greater than 40. That means no, the student has failed in one or two subjects. In this case, two subjects the student has failed. Because of that, we cannot promote the student to the next grade. Okay, so that is one of the practical usage of this all function. Now I can make it more meaningful. Instead of displaying true or false, I can give if promoted. That means if it is true, I can print student promoted. Okay. Else I can give here student failed. Student cannot be promoted. Let's say. Now this is more meaningful example, right? So now you can relate why we are using all of that. Now it says student cannot be promoted because he has not scored above 80, above 40 in all the subjects. The same program we are able to do very easily because of this all function and list comprehension. So if you do not know list comprehension and all function, it would be a tedious task to achieve because then you have to run a loop to each and every item and check a condition. Okay, if any of these thing is less than 40, then we can print student not promoted. All right. So this is an example of any and all. And let's see if I want to change the condition. We can promote the student if he has passed in at least one subject. But I can give any. If I give any, now you see it is going to say student promoted because at least one subject the student has scored above 80. Okay, so this is the usage of any and all, and it is used quite often in the programming. It makes the programming easier. Instead of writing all that additional codes, we can just use this function to achieve this kind of goal where we need to check. Basically, it is comparing the Boolean variable in a list of items, right? Okay, so that's it with these functions, this practice, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.